Welcome to the Tuesday, June 6th County Commission meeting. Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, good morning and welcome. Reminder to silence your cell phones, and meeting documents are next to Commissioner Bender. And if you need a listening device, Trish is going to have to help you right now. And since today is election day, we'd like to remind everybody to vote and express their abilities and appreciation for a free country. So thank you for taking time to do that today. Item number 1 is to consider a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion, but we have an amendment. Commissioner Bender.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda under number 5, personnel actions, to reflect that we'll be recognizing anniversaries for June 2017 and recording volunteers for May of 2017.
Is there a second?
Second that.
All those in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, nobody's going to be opposed. And the next item would be to approve the agenda as amended.
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion unanimously passes. Thank you. Item number 2 is to approve the commission minutes from May 30th.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. Item 3, bills to be paid of $306,095.92.
Pay the bills.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion unanimously passes. Item 4, there's no reports. Item 5 is personnel actions. Item number A is consider a motion to approve the routine personnel action.
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion and a second to approve routine personnel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. Item B is a special commission action to hire Vicki, is it Hewitt?
Yep.
As the accounting manager, thank you, for the auditor's office to pay grade 19, effective June 19th.
Good morning, Carrie Deaver from Human Resources. The special commission action in front of you is a request to hire Vicki Hewitt above the hiring range of steps 3 to 6. The reason for the request has to do with the experience of the candidate. We were lucky to identify somebody who's accepted the offer, and she holds a bachelor's degree and has over 20 years of accounting supervisor or supervisory experience, so directly in the wheelhouse that we're looking for.
Awesome. Very good. Is there any other questions for Carrie? Is there a motion?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the hiring of the accounting manager. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion unanimously passes. Item C is to recognize employees' anniversaries.
I have the following employee anniversaries for June 2017. Celebrating 5 years of service, we have Chris Greasy at the highway, Justin Hofer at Human Services, and Adam Bunger at the jail. Celebrating 10 years of experience, we have Jared Broster at the jail, Aaron Walton at the sheriff's office, and Mark Narveson at the highway. Celebrating 15 years of service is Rhonda Warren at the auditor's office, and celebrating 20 years of service is Chad Wilson at IT, and Chad is with us this morning.
Good morning, Chad. Well, we'd like to recognize you for keeping us all on track and being able to use the systems that we do. So you're a behind-the-scene guy, so we'd love to have you come to the mic and say a few words if you'd like. Monty's going to do that for you.
Monty with Minnehaha County IT. I told him he didn't have to come to the mic, so you put me on the spot. So, like I said at the beginning, Chad Wilson is kind of that behind-the-scenes person that a lot of county employees don't necessarily interact with, but his role here at the county as the network administrator means that He ensures that our network here is safe by managing things like our antivirus software, firewalls, routers, switches, that kind of equipment. So not a lot of recognition goes, so I just want to take this moment to do that today. So thank you.
Chad, we're happy that he let you out so we can see who you are. The other thing is that you are an integral part of our system, and we really do appreciate that because system security and all the things that happen in this world today are extremely important. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second, correct? All those in favor of recognizing the employees and their anniversary? We don't need to do that really, they've already been done, but please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. There's no applications for abatement, no notices and requests, no planning and zoning notice. Did I forget the
I missed
volunteers?
packets of.
Yep. I'm anxious to get here today. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
For our volunteers, we're asking to record 287 volunteers for May. So, fantastic number. Keep getting closer and closer to 300 all the time.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
That's an incredible resource. Again, I apologize for jumping ahead. We'll go back to item 6, application for abatement. There aren't any. Notices and requests, none. Planning and notices, none. Petitions for compromise, none. We're going for a record. Except we know Carol's coming up. She already warned me, so that's an inside joke. Opportunity for public comment. Is anyone here that would like to make a public comment about an item not on the agenda? No, Monty, you can't let DJ come up. Item 10 is to authorize the chair to sign a pavement management service contract with IMS Infrastructure Management Service. Go ahead, DJ.
Hi, Commissioners. DJ Boothia, Highway Superintendent. I would like to defer or request this to be deferred for 1 week, please. We need some time to review the agreement from the State Department of Transportation prior to execution by the chairman. So,
Okay. We have a motion.
Motion to defer 1 week?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to defer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. Item 11 is to authorize the chair to sign a South Dakota Department of Transportation agreement for SD 100 maintenance.
Commissioners, the Department of Transportation has sent us this agreement, and it's a joint powers agreement for maintenance of various sections of roadway that are going to be constructed or reconstructed during the next phase of the South Dakota 100 or the Veterans Parkway project. And so this agreement is a joint agreement between the South Dakota Department of Transportation, the City of Sioux Falls, the City of Brandon, Minnehaha County, and Brandon Township. And if we could go maybe to the very last page, I think that has a map of the exhibit. So this is a pretty standard agreement, and just because there are so many different jurisdictions involved in the project, they wanted to try to illustrate who would be responsible for what at the completion of the project. And this map is very busy and kind of messy looking, but this is the map that outlines the various sections of roadway. 60th Street North, which is on the very top center part of this map and has the darkest blue shading. You can see that it's being realigned over to South Dakota 100. That piece of roadway or section of roadway is going to be owned by the City of Sioux Falls. However, it will be maintained by Minnehaha County. If there's any major projects that need to happen, we'll work with the City of Sioux Falls to make sure we have an agreement on them paying for certain work that needs to be done. The section that is not realigned, which is the straight down section or the due east section that is in red, that is the existing alignment of the 60th Street North roadway. That will remain under Minnehaha County jurisdiction and ownership and maintenance until that part of the part of the world is annexed into the City of Sioux Falls. On the east side of Timberline Road, which is I'm gonna move the mouse here, Trish, if that's all right. That section that I blocked out there, that's a red hash mark, that is Redwood Boulevard east of South Dakota 100. Currently, it's a gravel road that heads over to Brandon on the south side of I-90. For that small section, that will become Minnehaha County jurisdiction and also maintained. That is the small section of Redwood Boulevard that will be paved as part of the state's project. And basically, it will be used to access the property to the north, which is owned currently by Minnehaha County. So really, that's the major, or minor, but that's the only piece that's added to our system. The portion of Timberline Road that includes the bridge that currently crosses the Big Sioux River and heads down to Rice Street. That actually is going to be going away for the most part. The DOT is removing the bridge. That will be taken off of our system. And then the roadway that will be remaining will become the city of Sioux Falls. It's going to turn into a cul-de-sac to access a small property on the south side of the river. And so that large section of Timberline Road will be coming off of our system. So just briefly, those are the sections of roadway that are coming onto the county system and coming off of the county system. There's not a lot of change really, other than the reduction of the bridge on our system, which is a pretty big and old dated bridge. So we're happy for that to come off. There's no money being exchanged with this agreement. It's simply just outlining who takes care of what moving forward. So does anybody have any questions about the mechanics of the agreement or the road sections involved within the agreement?
Any questions for DJ? Commissioner?
DJ, I think you said this at the beginning, but just as a point of clarification, so all this is effective once South Dakota 100 is completely finished and connected to the interstate system?
That's correct,
Okay.
yeah. Well, no, not when it's connected to the interstate system. Well, yes and no. It's kind of confusing because there is a small section on Rice Street which will be completed today or this year, this summer. I think the end of June is the completion date. And so once construction is completed and the projects are closed out, those sections will be effective. But there are sections up on the way north side that won't be completed until 2019, the end of 2019. And so I believe that the agreement is stated that it will be completed upon project completion. And
So that could be in stages.
With two different projects encompassing these different road sections, there's effectively two completion dates.
Okay. Can I ask
Yes.
a follow-up question? So the bridge that's coming off of our system, that's not slated to happen until
2019.
2019?
Yep.
Okay.
Other questions for DJ? When is the projected ribbon cutting of this monster 15-year-long project?
I would foresee there being a ribbon cutting towards the end of 2019. Certainly, that's going to be the major completion of the east side of the project. Moving forward, there's going to be a south side of Veterans Parkway and perhaps even a west side they've talked about someday. So this is 2019 will mark the end of the major portion of the east side, connecting I-90 to basically 57th Street down on the south side of Sioux Falls.
This is a project that's been worked on for a long, long time, and when that becomes a sealed project, then we benefit from that particular enhancement, I guess I would call it. It's going to be a major change in traffic patterns, I think, in the community. So
Right.
That's awesome.
And so lastly, the way that the DOT drafted this agreement, they have it stated that the highway superintendent is to sign this agreement. And so now I'll be asking you for, to put in the minutes that you authorize the highway superintendent to execute the agreement. And again, there's no money being exchanged. It's certainly, or it's only a maintenance agreement. So we'll ask for a motion for the highway superintendent to be able to sign the maintenance agreement with the joint jurisdictions.
That would be my motion.
Second.
Motion and a second to have the highway superintendent sign the agreement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. Thank you, DJ.
Thank you.
Item 12, consider a bid award and authorize the chair to sign a contract with BX Civil Construction, Inc. for the bridge railing replacement projects.
Commissioners, we had a bid opening on May 24th, and the project was for bridge railing replacement. And we identified 7 different bridge and box culvert sites that were needing in railing repairs and upgrades. And we had Banner Associates design a project for us. And at the bid opening, we had one bid. It was BX Civil and Construction out of Del Rapids. And they did a project very similar to this for us 2 years ago. Our engineer's estimate was $630,000, and their bid came in at $464,634.30. We've reviewed their bid and don't find any anomalies, and are recommending awarding and executing a construction contract for the project.
Commissioner Heiberger?
I just have a comment that the contract wasn't signed by the state's attorney's office on this one. Is that an issue, or did I just miss it?
This was a standardized one,
Okay.
and the wrong heading was put on there. I'm
Okay,
sorry. I thought
that's fine.
that message had been dispersed to everyone on here.
That's fine.
But there should have been the standardized contractor heading or contract heading, so it's
It's
fine.
fine.
To go
Okay.
forward.
Okay, then I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the contract for bridge railing replacement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 13 is Commissioner Liaison Reports. Any liaison reports? Item 14 is new business. No new business? Are you gonna do new business or old business for the budget? Well, it'll probably be new since it's for next year.
Commissioners, Carol Muller, Commission Administrative Officer. What I'm handing out to you is just what you guys all received yesterday, just the copies of a summary of where we're at with budgets and some basic information, because one of the things that you wanted to talk a little bit about is who comes in for the meetings. So to do that just a little bit differently. Anyway, before you in the screen is the one sheet you haven't seen because I did it late yesterday, but everybody's been put on alert that June 9th is when we start these. Our next budget hearing date will be June 27th. So we're starting Friday at 9 a.m. Working with the auditor's office and HR, we'll be preparing our general information, general overview, some history, status of where we're currently at will be the first hour. After that, we're going to dive right into meetings. And you have given direction to the departments that you only want to hear about what's different or what's being asked for. So the direction that we've received is somebody who's staying status quo, doesn't need to come in for a department head or presentation. So with that, we would propose starting at 10:15 in the morning. You see we've got some that are scheduled anywhere from 15 minutes to 10 minutes. The parks I put in for 5 minutes because they're just asking for a pickup. So I put them in for a 5-minute presentation. You'll also notice at the bottom of the page, I made some notations about things that we could go over on the 27th, which includes pretrial. Erin happens to be gone this Friday, so I'd like to be able to have her do that. And then also delve into the ambulances and the Fitch report and court-appointed outside attorneys, because we know that that is $1 million expense item that we've been working on. Along with that, I need some direction as to, do you want to do the sheriff and the jail that afternoon yet? Do you want to keep going, or would you prefer to hold them until the 27th? So looking for a little bit of direction, and would also ask if there's anybody else that you want to have put on the list besides the sheriff and the jail.
Any comments? I
I'm
guess
fine
my-
with finishing, but. it
I'm
doesn't-
sorry.
I'm sorry. I
No, go ahead.
interrupted you. I'm fine with finishing if that's what we want to do.
It's so much fun. I would just as soon let the fun keep going. And yeah.
Yeah.
Be the one that says, let's move it to the 27th.
Well, my
That's 'cause
question,
I got plans.
oh, my question would be, is there any reason we couldn't move this back an hour since we only got 4 departments after lunch, and that should be done within an hour, and then we'd be done by noon this time?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You mean start at 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that certainly is an option for us.
That's
I'd
fine
be
with
good
me,
with
too.
that.
That'd be fine with me.
Okay?
So we could let the fun nuke quit before we have lunch
Yeah.
and then leave? Is there, you think there's a problem with any of the department heads being?
We'll make it work. We'll do some rearranging on there. We'll make it work.
Great.
Is
That would be great.
8:15 a good time to start?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm.
Anybody
I'm
have
an
any
early
concerns
person,
about
so-
that? The sheriff off the list for a little while longer.
Okay, and we'll move the sheriff and the jail over to the 27th then,
Perfect.
which I believe we're scheduled to go into that after, I can't remember if it's in the afternoon or if it's.
Yeah, I have it starting at 1.
1 o'clock, okay. Okay, so at that time, we know we'll delve into the rest of public safety, which we haven't talked to, along with all of the ambulance and the Fitch study, which I know you guys have been having lots of discussion about, and some interaction as to what we should do for implication on doing that.
I think if we can get that to work, I'd prefer that we do that, start at 8:15 and be done by noon or thereabouts.
Okay,
And
okay.
then the
If
next
we need to go
time-
till 12:30, not a problem.
Yeah.
Y'all soon just work a little bit longer and leave for the weekend? Okay,
You might have to put a little break in there. Otherwise, we'll just run out quick.
okay.
It can be
Any
fine.
other questions, comments?
When would we be, if we wanted to bring in any of our other outside services that we provide, like children's home, that type of thing, when would we be looking at adding them?
We talked a little bit about that yesterday. I think, and this is something I was comfortable with when, well, you would be also with the city council issues, is if there's someone that you would like to bring to the table, so to speak, you can propose that, and if you can find a second that wants to hear about that, instead of just automatically inviting everybody, I think that would be more appropriate, so that there would be enough interest, so to speak, from two people to make that happen, which in most cases is not an issue. When we do that, we can do that on the 27th potentially.
I guess what I would, if I
Sure.
don't, just so I can continue, I'm sorry, Commissioner Eberger.
Fine.
You know, if there are outside organizations that we do funding for, I think that it should be up to them to approach us, to let us know, and then it would be, you know, up to us to gain the second to bring that at that point. So I'm not just going to assume that anybody wants to, but I'm gonna wait to hear, so I don't know if there's a way to let those
They were all
organizations know.
invited as part of their application process. They were all told that we would not necessarily be inviting, that it was not status quo, that everybody would be coming in as part of that presentation. But in the meantime, we would love to see you come in at a regularly scheduled meeting. The only one who contacted us was Family Visitation Center.
Okay,
Nobody else has contacted us.
okay, okay,
That was actually going to be my comment, that we'd already invited them.
okay. Good enough.
That's
And
fine
if
with
some of
me.
them go through and say, I'd still like to be heard, there's still a couple meetings between now and the 27th.
I just had a text from the sheriff. Evidently, he's listening to us someplace. And he, is there any way you can turn him off the system? No, wouldn't want that to happen. He's out of town on the 27th, so can you reschedule something for?
We'll make it work. You might be here till 1.
That's
okay.
fine.
Okay, we'll make it
Don't-
work on the 9th.
If he's already got plans, I don't want to change those.
Sure.
Right.
You'll buy lunch, right?
I think that's illegal now.
Or we could start at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That'd
That's-
be fine with me.
I throw that out somewhat humorously because we've been having a lot of 7 o'clock meetings lately.
Is better.
Go till we're done and the sheriff can be at the end of that conversation.
Okay.
Is that okay? Any other changes? I guess since we have the Family Visitation Center, were they planning on coming this Friday, or was,
No, they were here
Yeah, they were
6
here.
weeks ago,
Yeah.
was it?
that was part
Yeah.
of,
Yep, no, they were here about 6 weeks ago.
thought they were gonna come back again?
No.
No, that's fine. Okay, we'll go with that schedule. Any old business? No old business. We need to go into exec session for contract and personnel, and after the exec session at 10:30, we have another meeting scheduled for the facility evaluation and planning recommendations from the USD Beacom School of Business that they've been working on for months. It's pretty comprehensive. I think it's very educational, frankly, and I'm looking forward to the conversation. So if anyone wants to attend that, it's primarily going to be just presentation and some question answering, if you will. We won't get into any of the quote details of planning and all that kind of thing until later. So can I get a motion, first of all, to go into the contract and personnel exec session?
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to go into exec session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion unanimously passes. We'll see you back at 10:30.